This is not an accident. This video appearing for you now is a confirmation. Your future self has successfully sent this message back through time. This is a direct transmission. It has been encoded with a specific frequency and aimed at this precise moment for you to receive. This is not a metaphor. This is an operation based on a proven, if profoundly misunderstood, principle in quantum physics known as retrocausality. The principle is simple. The future can and does influence the past. Think of time not as a one-way street, but as a vast, vibrating membrane. An event in the future creates ripples that travel in all directions across that membrane, including backward, into what we call the present. Your future self, the version of you that has already achieved everything you are currently striving for, has created a massive event. A success so profound it has sent a shockwave back to you. Right now, this video is that shockwave made coherent. You have until December 31st. This is a critical universal deadline, an energetic gate. You must use the protocol embedded within this transmission to consciously shift to the timeline your future self is broadcasting from. By the end of this video, you will have the exact keys to unlock that gate. This isn't wishful thinking. This is physics. The foundational rule of the quantum world is that reality is a wave of pure potential until it is observed. The act of observation collapses all possibilities into one single, concrete reality. This is the observer effect. Scientists like the brilliant John Wheeler demonstrated this with his delayed choice experiment, proving that an observation made today could retroactively determine the path a particle of light took yesterday. The observation literally reached back in time and commanded reality to conform. Your future self has performed the ultimate observation. From their position of absolute triumph, they have looked back and observed you, right now, succeeding. They have collapsed the wave of probability for you. They have chosen a timeline of victory, of health, of profound love and purpose, and are sending the echo of that definitive observation back to you as a signal. Your job isn't to create this reality from scratch. Your job is to receive their signal and lock it in. If you feel, on a soul level, that this message was meant for you, hit the like button now. It's the first step in acknowledging the signal from your future self. This is why you felt that profound sense of waiting. You know the feeling. It's a strange, vibrating mixture of deep anxiety and electric excitement. It feels like you're standing on a train platform, waiting for a train you can't see, but you can feel its thunderous approach in the rails beneath your feet. You've known, deep in your bones, that a massive change was imminent, but you didn't know how to leap onto the train. You've been waiting for the door to open. This is why your life has been clearing itself. You've been shedding old friends, old habits, maybe even an old career, not out of anger or malice, but out of a subtle, undeniable, resonant mismatch. They simply don't fit anymore. It feels like your entire being is recalibrating to a new frequency, and anything that can't vibrate at that new level is gently, or sometimes violently, shaken loose. This wasn't destruction. It was your higher self clearing the bandwidth, making room so you could receive this new powerful signal without interference. This is why you felt that unexplainable urgency building towards the end of this year. Yeah, it's more than just the holiday season. It's a biological imperative, a spiritual deadline written into your very cells. That feeling was your internal guidance system, alerting you to the imminent arrival of this transmission. It was your soul, waiting for this signal to arrive, knowing that everything depended on it. To understand how to use it, you must first understand what it is. This video is not just a video. It is a time-encoded signal. It is a carrier wave. And the information is not just in the words Gyo, but in the frequency behind the words. The pacing, the tone, the silences between sentences. They are all designed to activate a specific dormant frequency within your DNA. It is a quantum key, a key machined with extra-dimensional precision to fit a single lock. And that lock is your present state of awareness, the state of being that has yearned and searched and meditated and done the work, and brought you to this exact digital coordinate at this exact moment in space-time. It wouldn't work for your neighbor. It wouldn't have worked for you 6 months ago. It is for you, right now. The time for passive waiting, for hoping, for wishing, is over. The era of looking for a sign from the universe has ended. The sign has arrived. By the end of this transmission, you will undergo a fundamental shift in your operational reality. You will move from being someone who waits for the future to happen to someone who consciously and deliberately selects their future from the quantum field of infinite potential. You will not only understand the protocol intellectually, but you will feel its signature frequency humming in your very cells. You will know, with an absolute and unshakable certainty, exactly what you need to do between now and the universal gate of December 31st. The instructions are here. The signal is live. Your only job now is to listen. To understand how this is possible, you have to upgrade your understanding of reality itself. You have been taught to see time as a single, straight line, a railroad track stretching from a fixed past into an unknown future. This is a profound limitation. The most foundational principle of quantum mechanics is called superposition. It states that, until observed, that particle doesn't exist in one place, but in all possible places at once. It is a wave of pure potential. Your life operates under the same law. Every possible future you can imagine, and countless more you cannot, exists right now as a wave of potential. A quantum fog of probabilities. The timeline where you are a celebrated artist. The timeline where you are a spiritual guide. The timeline where you are financially sovereign, living in perfect health. They are not dreams. They are not fantasies. They are real, parallel realities, vibrating just outside your field of perception. Your future self is not a different person. They are the version of you who has already collapsed the most optimal probability wave into a concrete reality. They are you, but fully realized. Think of it this way. Your future self stands as a great broadcast tower at the peak of a mountain, living in a reality of profound peace, power, and purpose. That state of being isn't a passive thing. It generates a powerful, coherent energy field. A signal. This signal, the emotional echo of their achieved reality, radiates outwards in all directions, including backwards through what we perceive as time. It is a constant transmission. The problem has never been the broadcast. The problem is the receiver. Your nervous system, conditioned by years of doubt, trauma, and limiting beliefs, is the receiver. And for most of your life, it has been tuned to the wrong frequency. It has been locked onto the static of your current, suboptimal timeline, listening to the repeating broadcast of lack, struggle, and not enough. This message, this video, is a forced recalibration of your receiver. It is designed to help you deliberately tune out the static and lock onto the clear, powerful signal from the broadcast tower of your future self. This signal has a name. It is the quantum echo signal. It's not a memory of a past you've lived, but an echo of a future you have already created. An echo that arrives before the sound. This signal has 3 distinct characteristics, and as I describe them, you will realize you have been feeling them for months, if not years. First, it feels like intuitive knowing, not logical thought. It is the sudden, inexplicable urge to quit the stable job. The gut feeling to call a person you haven't spoken to in a decade. The deep, cellular certainty that a particular path is right, even when your rational mind screams that it's insane. Your conscious mind cannot process this signal because it operates on linear logic and past evidence. The quantum echo signal is a transmission from outside that system. It speaks directly to your body, to your soul. Second, the signal increases in intensity as the temporal gate, December 31st, approaches. You may have noticed this, an increasing restlessness, a sense of urgency you can't quite name. This is because the space-time distance between the broadcast tower and your receiver is shrinking. The 2 timelines are converging. The signal is getting louder, clearer, and more difficult to ignore. The static of your old reality is losing its power. Third, the signal feels both alien and deeply familiar. It's alien because it guides you toward choices and feelings that the current you finds foreign. It asks you to be bolder, more loving, more courageous than you have ever been. Yet, simultaneously, it feels like coming home. Every whisper of this echo feels like you are remembering a fundamental truth about yourself that you had long forgotten. It is the paradox of becoming who you've always been. This new understanding illuminates precisely why your old methods of manifestation have consistently failed, leaving you frustrated and feeling like you were doing something wrong. Let's dismantle the three great failures. The first is forced visualization. You sat in meditation, gritting your teeth, trying to conjure the image of the money in your bank account, the perfect partner, the healthy body. But in that act of trying, of efforting, you were screaming a frequency of lack into the quantum field. The universe does not respond to the pictures in your head. It responds to the vibration of your being. You were broadcasting, "I don't have this, and I must strain to get it." And the universe, in its perfect wisdom, gave you more experiences of not having and more reasons to strain. The second failure was repeating affirmations from a state of disbelief. You stood in the mirror and said, "I am worthy," while your entire nervous system vibrated with the felt experience of unworthiness. This is a form of spiritual cognitive dissonance. It's like playing a beautiful chord on a piano that is horribly out of tune. The affirmation is the chord, but your inner state is the broken instrument. All you accomplish is amplifying the discordant noise of your own disbelief. The third, and perhaps most common failure, was waiting for external signs before you would commit to a new belief. You asked the universe for a feather, a number sequence, a sign that you were on the right path. This is like sitting in front of a radio, demanding it play your favorite song while refusing to plug it into the wall. You have to provide the power first. You have to tune your own frequency. The signs don't create the belief. The belief allows the signs to become visible. So, people ask me, how to do a quantum jump to another timeline if the old ways don't work? It starts by understanding you're not jumping, you're receiving. Where in your life have you been waiting for external permission to change, not realizing your future self has been sending the permission slip all along? This brings us to the great paradigm shift, the core revelation that changes everything. The old model of reality was about pushing, straining, fighting your way upstream. You saw the future as a distant shore you had to heroically swim to against the powerful current of your present circumstances. That entire model is upside down. The future is not a destination you push yourself toward. It is a gravitational field that is pulling you toward it. The version of you who has already succeeded, who is already healed, who is already whole, is a massive, energetic body in space-time. Like a planet, its presence warps the fabric of reality around it. That warping is the pull you feel. That urgency, that yearning for more, is not your discontent. It is the gravitational pull of your own future. Your job was never to create the future. Your job is simply to stop resisting the pull. The shift isn't about pulling the future to you. It's about collapsing the space between you and the future that is already pulling you toward it. You are not creating. You are converging. For the last several minutes, we have operated under a specific assumption. It's an assumption baked into every story of spiritual seeking, every hero's journey. It's the story of a higher power, a future guide, a wiser self reaching back through the veil to help a less developed or weaker, more confused version of themselves. We see our future self as a distant, powerful entity, a lighthouse keeper on a far shore, sending a beam of light to a lost ship in a storm, us. We believe they are the powerful one. We believe we are the ones in need of saving. This is the most profound and most limiting illusion we hold, and the revelation that collapses it is the very reason this transmission was initiated. The truth is this: a signal of this magnitude, a quantum echo signal capable of bridging timelines, requires two things to exist. It requires an immensely powerful broadcast tower. Yes, that is your future self in their state of achieved coherence, but it also requires an equally powerful antenna, a receiver so charged with energetic potential that it can pull that signal out of the quantum foam and make it real. Your present moment desire, your sacred dissatisfaction, your profound soul-deep yearning for more, that is not a sign of your weakness. It is the source of your power. It is the antenna. That feeling of desperation, that ache for change that led you to this very video, is the energetic event that created the powerful future self-capable of sending this message in the first place. Your present-day longing was the big bang of your new timeline. You are not the recipient of a rescue mission. You are the author of it. You initiated this. Take a breath and let that land. Everything you thought you knew about your relationship with time and potential has just inverted. This changes the very physics of your reality. This means you are not a victim of your timeline. You are its origin point. You have not been drifting aimlessly, waiting for a current to catch you. You have been the gravitational center, the sun, around which your potential futures have been orbiting. The circumstances you lament, the reality you wish to escape, it was never a cage. It was the launch pad. It was the necessary contrast that allowed you to formulate, with perfect clarity, the desire that would become the blueprint for your future self's existence. You are not escaping a past. You are fulfilling its deepest request. This means your feeling of stuckness was never a problem. It was the power source for the signal. Imagine an archer pulling back a bowstring. From the arrow's perspective, it's going backward. It feels an immense tension, a strain, a complete halt in forward momentum. It feels stuck. But that tension is precisely what accumulates the kinetic potential required to launch it farther and faster than it could ever travel on its own. Your frustration, your feeling of being in a holding pattern, has been the act of drawing back the bow. The tension was the entire point. It was the charging of the capacitor that made this transmission possible. What if your feeling of being stuck was never a prison, but the anchor point your future self needed to lock onto to send this very message back to you? This means the future isn't saving you. You are activating the future. This is not an act of charity from a higher being. This is a collaboration between equals across time. Your future self is not looking down on you with pity. They are looking back at you with profound gratitude, because they remember that this moment, your courage to want more, your audacity to feel this divine discontent, was the catalyst for their entire reality. You are not being rescued. You are being remembered. You are being honored. By choosing to receive this signal, you are completing the work you started when you first dared to believe a better life was possible. And this means the act of watching this video right now is the pivotal event in a closed temporal loop. The desire that made you click is the echo of the fulfillment your future self is experiencing. The information you are receiving is the answer to a question you haven't even fully articulated, but your soul has been screaming. You are witnessing the snake eating its own tail. You are the cause and the effect, the question and the answer, collapsing into a single, perfect point of power in the eternal now. There is no separation. There never was. So what does this do to our approach? It shatters it. The old paradigm was about effort, doing, pushing, forcing. It was about hustling for your worthiness, grinding to manifest, struggling to raise your vibration. It was you, the small self, trying to generate a signal loud enough for the universe to hear. The new paradigm is not about doing, but allowing. It's not about generating the signal, but recognizing it. It's about surrender. It's about understanding that the signal from your future is already here. It has always been here, whispering beneath the noise of your doubt. Your only work is to become quiet enough to hear it. Your only task is to stop pushing against the river and simply allow its current, a current you created, to carry you home. You are a tuning fork. You don't need to learn how to sing. You just need to be brought near the frequency you were built to resonate with. And the song begins on its own. This entire transmission is that frequency. Your job is not to create the music. Your job is to vibrate. This transforms your very identity. You are not a seeker, hoping to find a miracle. You are the anchor point of a temporal paradox. You are not a waiter, hoping for your life to begin. You are the origin event of a timeline convergence. You are the cause and the effect. You are the past that dreamed and the future that became. You are the question whispered in the dark and the answer that thunders back across time, converging in this perfect body, in this perfect breath, in this perfect and holy now. This isn't just a beautiful theory. It's not an abstract concept to be debated. The revelation you just had is a map to a country you are already living in. Your future self did not begin sending this signal today. This video is not the first attempt at communication. It is the culmination. It is the transmission breaking through the static with undeniable clarity. For weeks, for months, your future self has been sending test signals, probes, echoes into your reality to prepare your energy field, to prime your consciousness for this very moment. Here are the three most common echoes you have almost certainly been experiencing, but likely misinterpreting as chaos, confusion, or coincidence. Now, you get the cipher to read them. The first, and perhaps most disruptive sign to you, is what we call the sudden subtraction. This is when a person, a job, a home, a core belief system, or a long-held identity is suddenly and inexplicably removed from your life. Often, it happens against your conscious will. It feels like a loss, it feels like failure. It can feel like the floor has been ripped out from under you. One day you have a secure job, and the next you are being escorted out of the building with your belongings in a box. One day you are in a comfortable, if unfulfilling, relationship, and the next you are single, facing an empty apartment. One day you believe passionately in a certain worldview, and the next a crack appears in its foundation, and the entire structure crumbles to dust. From the perspective of your old timeline, this is a catastrophe. But from the perspective of your future self, this is a surgical intervention. The reframe is this: it is not a loss. It is your future self-clearing bandwidth. That job, that relationship, that belief system was occupying a frequency in your life that was incompatible with the incoming signal of your optimal timeline. It was creating so much static, so much resonant interference, that the new, higher vibrational reality could not find a place to land. So your future self, in an act of profound love and efficiency, simply removed the source of the interference. It didn't ask your permission, because your conscious mind, addicted to the comfort of the known, would have said no. It performed a necessary extraction to save the patient. Think of a woman who had been in a secure corporate job for a decade. She was well paid, respected, but felt a quiet, soul-crushing emptiness every Sunday night. She dreamed of being an artist, but told herself it was irresponsible, a fantasy. Then, a corporate restructuring happens out of the blue. Her entire department is eliminated. She is devastated. She feels abandoned, terrified, a failure. For 2 months, she is lost. But in that forced silence, with the frequency of her old obligations gone, she starts to sketch again, just to pass the time. Then she paints. She feels a flicker of life she hasn't felt in years. She posts one painting online. Someone wants to buy it. Then another. A year later, she's making a living from her art, feeling more alive and aligned than she ever thought possible. She looks back at her job loss not as a tragedy, but as the moment her future self broke her out of prison. The old timeline had to be demolished to make way for the new foundation. Have you recently lost something you thought you couldn't live without, only to feel a strange, inexplicable sense of relief in its wake? That was the echo. That was the signal clearing the path. The second sign is more subtle, but even more powerful. You are likely experiencing it right now. We call it conceptual déjà vu. This is the strange, uncanny feeling of hearing a new idea, a new concept, or a new piece of information and feeling, on a cellular level, that you have known it your entire life. It is not the intellectual process of learning. It is not your mind saying, "Ah, that makes sense." It is your soul, your very DNA, screaming, "Yes, I remember this. This is the truth I came from." It's accompanied by physical sensations, goosebumps on your arms, a shiver down your spine, a feeling of warmth spreading through your chest. It feels less like discovery and more like remembering a forgotten mother tongue. The concepts in this transmission, retrocausality, the future influencing the past, you being the origin point of your own rescue, may be new to your conscious mind, but do they feel new to your spirit? Or do they feel like the operating instructions you were born with but somehow misplaced? This is resonance. The reframe is this: it's not a memory of your past, it is a resonance with your future. Your cells, your energy field, are vibrating in recognition of the home frequency of your optimal timeline. The quantum echo signal sent by your future self is encoded with the core truths of that elevated reality. When you encounter those truths here, in your present, your entire being acts like a tuning fork struck with its perfect resonant tone. It vibrates with recognition. It confirms the authenticity of the signal. This is one of the most powerful signs your future self is contacting you, because it bypasses the skepticism of the ego and speaks directly to the wisdom of the body. The mind can argue, but it cannot fake a full-body field of chills. It cannot fake that sudden, tear-inducing wave of profound knowing that washes over you when a truth lands. It is a biological confirmation that you are receiving the correct data package from your future self. In the comments, share which of these 3 signs you've been experiencing. Let's create a collective record of this timeline convergence. I want to witness your awakening. How many concepts in this video so far haven't felt like learning, but like remembering? That is the echo. Verifying the channel is clear. The third sign is a distortion of your perceived environment. It is the feeling of reality itself beginning to thin, to become more malleable. We call it the compression of time. This manifests in two ways. First is the subjective acceleration of time, the feeling that weeks are collapsing into days and months into weeks. This has been especially true as we approach the end of this year. It's a common complaint to say time flies, but this is a different quality. This is a palpable sense of being pulled forward, as if you are in the current of a mighty river approaching a waterfall. It is a sense of urgency that is not born of anxiety, but of imminence. It's a cosmic countdown. The second manifestation is the shrinking gap between intention and manifestation. Synchronicities are no longer gentle nudges. They are loud, obvious, and happening with breathtaking speed. You have a thought of an old friend, and they text you a minute later. You realize you need a specific skill for a project, and the next day you see an online ad for that exact course on sale. You ask the universe for a sign, and within the hour you see it 3 times in a row in the most improbable places. The reframe is this. This is not just stress or your imagination. It is a documented symptom of timeline convergence. In physics, massive objects warp the fabric of space-time. As your present reality gets closer and closer to the event horizon of your vastly more energetic and coherent future timeline, that future timeline begins to exert a gravitational pull. It bends your perception of time. It pulls the elements necessary for its creation toward you at an accelerated rate. The lag between cause and effect begins to dissolve. Imagine someone who decides they need to find a new place to live before the end of the year. In the old reality, this would be a multi-month process of searching, applications, and stress. But in this compressed time field, they set the intention. The next day, a friend of a friend mentions they are breaking their lease on the perfect apartment, in the perfect neighborhood, and need someone to take it over immediately. The entire process, from intention to keys in hand, takes 72 hours. It feels like magic. It feels like a glitch in the matrix. It is the physics of convergence. It is the feeling of the event horizon pulling you in. The universe is no longer winking at you. It is staring you in the face, demanding your attention. Have you noticed the gap between your thoughts and your reality shrinking? Do you feel the pull towards December 31st as something more than just a date on a calendar? That is the echo, announcing its imminent arrival. You understand the theory. You have seen the proof in the architecture of your own life. Now it is time to stop decoding the signal and become the signal. This is the heart of the transmission, the reason it was sent. Find a space where you can be undisturbed for the next few minutes. Sit upright, in a posture of relaxed dignity. Dim the lights if you can. This is not a passive exercise. This is an active calibration. Go ahead and close your eyes. Let your breath be your anchor. A slow, deep inhale through the nose. A long, complete exhale through the mouth. Do this again. Inhale and release the day. One more time. Inhale the present moment and exhale all timelines that no longer serve you. Now let your breath return to its natural rhythm. We are going to begin. First, I want you to bring your awareness to the space around you, not the room. The energetic field you are sitting in. Do not try to see it. Do not try to imagine it. Simply feel it. Sense the air, not as emptiness, but as a dense medium, thick with information, humming with potential. It has a texture, a subtle pressure against your skin. This is the echo field. It is the repository of all possibilities. Your future self exists here as a dominant vibration within this field. Now, bring your attention to your heart center. From this place, I want you to feel for a subtle pull. It is not a thought, it is a physical sensation. It is like the gentle, unmistakable tug of a powerful magnet, pulling you softly forward, forward in time. This is the gravitational pull of your most optimal timeline. This is your future self calling you home. Do not force it, just notice it. It may feel like a warmth in your chest, a lightness, a subtle longing that is filled with peace, not sadness. This is the signal. You are feeling it now directly, without the filter of your conscious mind. Stay with that feeling. Breathe into it. Allow it to grow, to stabilize. You are tuning your inner receiver to the precise frequency of the broadcast. Good. Now, from this tuned state, we move to the next phase. You are going to feel the presence of your future self. Let me be absolutely clear. You are not going to visualize them. Do not create a face, or clothes, or a location. That is the ego attempting to construct a story. This is beyond story. This is about frequency. I want you to feel their emotional signature. Imagine they are standing just in front of you, a presence made of pure energy, radiating their state of being. What is the dominant feeling that comes from them? Is it a profound, unshakable peace, a peace that has seen every storm and knows the sun will always return? Is it a feeling of limitless, quiet power, not aggression, but the serene confidence of a creator who knows the rules of the game? Is it a current of ecstatic, bubbling joy, the pure joy of being alive in a reality you have consciously chosen? Take a moment. What is the feeling? Let it wash over you. Don't analyze it. Don't judge it. Just receive it. This feeling is the language of your soul. It is the data packet your future self is sending you. Now, breathe that feeling in. Literally, inhale their peace into your own lungs. Let it circulate through your bloodstream. Let it saturate every cell in your body. Exhale your doubt. Inhale their power. Feel it fortify your spine. Feel it ground you into the earth. Exhale your fear. Inhale their joy. Feel it light up your nervous system like a string of holiday lights. Exhale your sense of limitation. You are not creating this feeling. You are borrowing it from a future that is already real. You are remembering it. As you marinate in this state, find the one word that captures its essence. Is it freedom, sovereignty, abundance, clarity, love? What one feeling word is the signature of your new timeline? Hold that word. It is your compass. Now, we will begin the convergence. Feel your own energetic presence, the person who sat down and closed their eyes, and feel the energetic presence of your future self, the source of this powerful frequency. 2 points of consciousness, one in the present, one in the future. But in the quantum field, there is no time, there is no distance. The separation was an illusion, a story you told yourself. Feel these 2 points begin to move toward each other, the you of now and the you that is your destiny. You are not approaching them. They are not reaching for you. The space between you is simply collapsing, like 2 notes on a piano, slightly out of tune, finding their way back to a perfect, resonant harmony. Feel the merger. It is a subtle shift, a click, a sense of deep rightness, of coming home to yourself. The warmth in your chest is no longer a pull from a distance. It is now the core of your own being. The peace is your peace. The power is your power. The joy is your joy. There is no more separation. The echo has returned to its source. You are one. You are whole. You are now operating from the endpoint. You are the future. Now, to seal this, to lock it in, gently place your right hand over your heart. Feel the warmth of your own palm. With this simple action, you are making a declaration to the universe, to every cell in your body. This new frequency is my new baseline. This is my home. This is who I am now. Take a deep, final breath, and as you exhale, feel this unified frequency locking into your physical body, becoming your new energetic signature. This is you. Remember this feeling. This state of being is your most powerful tool. The protocol is active. The transmission is complete. When you are ready, slowly, gently, begin to bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, and when you feel complete, open your eyes. You're not the same person who closed them. The feeling is now your reality. You are no longer navigating toward the new timeline. You are broadcasting from it. The protocol you just activated is stable, but it requires conscious maintenance. Your physical reality is a lagging indicator. It will take time for the external world to reorganize itself around your new core frequency. Your mission between now and December 31st is to hold this frequency with unwavering integrity. These are not suggestions. These are your operational procedures. This is how you live as the echo of your future self until the convergence is physically complete. First, you must have a new method for making decisions. The old method of pro-con lists and logical analysis belongs to the timeline you just left. That method was designed to calculate risk. Your new method is designed to detect resonance. We call this first tool the future self filter. Its purpose is to collapse indecision instantly. Indecision is a static frequency. It is a state of superposition where you are vibrating at the frequency of two incompatible timelines at once. It drains your energy and dilutes the signal you are now broadcasting. The future self filter eliminates this static. The principle is simple. You will now make all choices by acting as if you are already the person who has everything you desire. You are consulting the wisdom of the destination you have already arrived at. Here is how you use it. For any choice you face, whether it is monumental or mundane, you will perform this simple 2-second process. First, close your eyes and immediately reconnect to that core feeling of your future self that you embodied just moments ago. That feeling of peace, of power, of inevitability. Take one breath and inhabit it fully. Then, present the choice to that version of you and ask one question: which option stabilizes and amplifies this frequency? Do not look for a logical answer. Do not wait for a voice in your head. You are looking for a physical, energetic response. One option will feel like an expansion in your chest, a subtle lightening, an energetic yes. The other will feel like a contraction, a tightening, a deadening, an energetic no. It is immediate. It is unmistakable. It is the physics of resonance. The correct path for the person on your new timeline will always feel more like you. There are two critical mistakes to avoid with this tool. The first is overthinking the answer. The mind will jump in immediately, trying to analyze the feeling, trying to justify the contraction, trying to argue for the choice that seems more sensible or safe. Your mind is a product of the old timeline's data. It is not qualified to make decisions for your new reality. The first feeling is the only truth. Trust your body's instantaneous signal. It is the direct communication line to your future self. The second mistake is confusing fear for an energetic no. Fear is a loud, chaotic, buzzing energy. An energetic no is a quiet, solid, dead-end feeling. A no feels like putting on a coat that is 2 sizes too small. Fear feels like standing at the edge of a diving board. The person on your new timeline has already made the jump. They are not afraid of the height. They are excited by the water. Learn to distinguish the two. Use this filter for everything until December 31st. What to eat for breakfast. Whether to make that phone call. Which project to work on. What to say in a difficult conversation. Each correct choice is a vibrational vote for your new reality, strengthening the signal and accelerating the physical manifestation. Next, you need a protocol for handling the ghosts of your past. As your new timeline solidifies, your old timeline will begin to crumble. But its collapse is not always silent. It will send echoes into your present reality. Old thought patterns, fears, doubts, even people or situations from your past may suddenly reappear. They are the last attempts of a dying reality to pull you back in through habit and familiarity. Resisting them gives them energy. Arguing with them gives them validity. You need a way to handle them that requires zero energy expenditure. This is the old timeline observation protocol. Its principle is based on the observer effect from quantum physics. The reality you place your focused attention on is the reality that you energize and sustain. What you withdraw your focus from ceases to have power over you. It loses its coherence and dissolves back into the field of pure potential. So, when a thought of doubt arises, the thought that says, "This is too good to be true," or "I'm not good enough for this," do not fight it. Do not suppress it. Simply see it, and internally label it data from a collapsing timeline. That is all. You give it no more energy than you would give a cloud passing in the sky. You acknowledge it as an artifact of a system that is no longer operational, and then you immediately return your focus to the feeling signature of your new timeline. When a person from your past shows up attempting to pull you back into an old drama, or when a situation arises that reflects your old limitations, you do the same. Do not get emotionally hooked. Do not argue. Do not try to justify your new self to the ghosts of your old world. Just observe it, label it, an echo from a collapsing timeline, and politely, calmly, and definitively withdraw your energy. Thank it for its service in getting you to this point, and turn your attention back to what is real now. What is the one decision you've been postponing that the person on your new timeline has already made? Name it, right now, to yourself. That hesitation you feel is the gravitational pull of the old timeline. Use the observation protocol on that hesitation right now. Label it, release it, and with the future self filter, feel the expansion that comes from making the choice your future self has already made. This is, in essence, how to manifest a timeline shift fast. It is not about grand gestures or effortful visualization. It is the moment-by-moment management of your frequency and your observation. You simply stop energizing the reality you don't want. You starve it of your attention, and it must, by the laws of physics, fade away. Finally, you need to create an undeniable feedback loop of proof. Your conscious mind needs evidence. It needs data to update its beliefs about what is possible. You will provide it with this data every single day. This final tool is the 24-hour evidence log. The principle here relates to a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, or RAS. It is the brain's filter. It is programmed to show you what you tell it is important. If you decide finding proof of your new timeline is important, your brain will work tirelessly to highlight every piece of supporting evidence. You are training your brain to see the new reality. The protocol is non-negotiable. Every single night before you go to sleep, from tonight until December 31st, you will take a pen and paper and write down 3 pieces of evidence, no matter how small, that you operated from your new timeline that day. You are looking for proof that you were the future self. Perhaps the evidence is, I used the future self filter to choose a healthy meal instead of my old comfort food. Or, I felt a wave of anxiety, labeled it as old timeline data, and it passed in seconds instead of ruining my day. It could be, I spoke my truth in a meeting, and even though it was scary, it felt expansive. It could be a synchronicity. I thought of a friend, and they immediately texted me. Or simply, I held the feeling of peace for 10 uninterrupted minutes. The mistake to avoid here is dismissing the small proofs. The mind will tell you, that doesn't count. It's too small. That is the old programming trying to maintain control. In quantum reality, there is no big or small. There is only resonant or dissonant. A small, resonant action is infinitely more powerful than a grand, dissonant one. Document everything. Skipping even one day breaks the momentum. This is your most important task. This log becomes your sacred text, the irrefutable, accumulating proof that the shift is not just real, but that you are the one causing it. These 3 tools, the future self-filter, the old timeline observation protocol, and the 24-hour evidence log, are your entire system for navigating this final, critical period. They are simple, but their combined effect is paradigm-shattering. They will make your new frequency your dominant, unshakable reality. You have received the transmission. You have activated the protocol. You now hold the tools, the frequency, and the operational awareness to navigate consciously to the December 31st gate. The convergence is no longer a hope or a possibility. It is an assured event in space-time because you, the observer from the past, have finally aligned with the observation from the future. You collapsed the wave function. You made the choice. This journey, this mission, was about bringing you home to yourself. But crossing this threshold is not the final exam. It is your graduation. It is your initiation into a new class of creator, one who operates not from the laws of cause and effect, but from the physics of temporal resonance. You have learned to be a timeline jumper, but the universe is now calling you to become something more, a timeline architect. For the last hour, the entire focus has been on you, your frequency, your choice, your new reality. This was necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot build a new world from a compromised energetic signature. But now, with your frequency locked and your path secured, the aperture of the mission widens. The question is no longer, how do I get to my desired timeline? That question has been answered. The next question, the question that will define the coming era for all of humanity, is this: what happens when multiple awakened creators, each broadcasting from their own optimal timeline, begin to consciously converge their timelines together? What happens when the signal is no longer a solo echo, but a symphony. This is the next horizon. This jump before December 31st is, by its very nature, a solo mission. It is about you securing your own oxygen mask first. It is about you anchoring your own light so fiercely that the storms of the collapsing world cannot extinguish it. You must become an unshakable pillar of the new frequency. But what comes after is a collective one. What comes after is the true work. It involves moving beyond the domain of personal reality creation into what physicists are beginning to call quantum consensus, shared reality engineering. This is not a metaphor. It is the literal physics of creating heaven on earth. When one person holds a frequency, they change their world. When a group of sovereign individuals hold a coherent frequency together, they bend the arc of reality for the entire collective. They create a gravitational field of possibility, so powerful that it pulls the rest of humanity upward. They form the resonant structure for a new earth to crystallize around them. This is the task that awaits you on the other side of the gate. That is why it is absolutely critical that you do not see December 31st as a finish line. It is the starting gate for a mission far grander than you can possibly imagine from this vantage point, and our work together is not finished. It is only just beginning. Subscribe and activate all notifications. The gate on December 31st is a beginning, not an end. Our next video, Collective Consciousness Explained, How Your Field Influences Global Timelines, is the first briefing for what comes after. In that next transmission, we will move beyond the individual and explore the physics of the collective field. We will also dive deep into a concept you have experienced but never fully understood. In a briefing titled, Synchronicity is Simpler Than You Think, It's Pure Physics. You will learn to see the architecture of reality not as a random series of events, but as a responsive, intelligent grid that is constantly communicating with you. This is the next level of your mastery. But for now, your mission is clear. You are the echo of a brilliant future. Live like it, walk like it, breathe like it, choose like it. Every moment between now and the gate is an opportunity to strengthen your broadcast, to solidify your new state of being. The world you are stepping into after December 31st is waiting for you. It needs the version of you that you just became. It is counting on your light, your stability, your unwavering certainty. Go forward and anchor that light. Your future self is waiting to thank you.